It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the football team and the Browns, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Washington football team. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. On the return, Clement, and he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. From the gun, they'll try to run it. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Gonna throw right side here, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam! Puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion. Really good pickup.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 18 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. Now back to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Denzel Ward. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
I love this quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger, throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Buying time to his left. And this one is incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
51 yards on the punt there. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
For Washington going to send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Fielded just inside the 20. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down. After the sack here, 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, He thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. With touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. On the return, Clement. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the...
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Washington.
Anytime that ball comes to me,
a great play there, with touchdown number 7 on the year. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. Now, that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you, and let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works, but he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
hey, stand up.
Shedding the tackle. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll look to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. From the midfield. midfield stripe. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys, good. Yeah. Backside guys, that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
They go jet sweep here with Chark. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Looking to throw. Steps away to his left. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
Obviously a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. Now under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. It's a sack for a loss of 4, and that brings up third down and goal. They're going to look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Blankenship's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either. And
they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Micah Parsons, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. He'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Here we go.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Start the drive, has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence
being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. We now proceed to the start of the second half.
Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
So here are the Browns to take over. They lead things here as they start 1st and 10, trying to get rid of that bad taste in their mouth from the loss last week to the Atlanta Falcons. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Now Lawrence.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to...
Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense him saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Calling a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
But I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. On the return, Clement. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll keep it on the ground. Noel. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On first down, Noel. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll run on first down. Noel. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Noel. Always got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they'll get this down to the 10.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try to get the ball back again.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
2nd and 11. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Micah Parsons, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
On 3rd down, Noel, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot a bit.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? Might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Flushed out right. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field.
While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And some space here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They'd done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. He'll drop to throw.
Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Dixon. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll look to throw again. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Dixon. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play that time on the catch and run. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back to throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Clock running as Washington will try and hurry up.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance, it just was unsuccessful.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. Back to throw now on 1st down. Buying time to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Touchdown, Browns! A great play there. Hitting really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Escaping the pressure right. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And that was the old QB one-man band play there in the conversion.
And look, let's face it, even quarterbacks who don't have great mobility, in certain situations, they're able to actually take the ball in themselves. Remember way back when Joe Namath against the Giants in the Yale Bowl, right? Remember Joe had all those knee operations. They thought he couldn't run it. No one accounted for him. He practically walked into the end zone.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Cleveland, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
they're going the wrong way, as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers.